myself, and I say we, I said me and the other teacher assistant. Regardless of how she's feeling, we have come to conclusion what we know to do, what is right for them. We just put our minds together and went ahead and began to teach them to write properly.
Okay.
She was upset with that.
Okay, so she didn't like the fact that you wanted to teach the students to write.
She didn't want us to. She didn't believe that we should push them. Long as they were writing, that was fine with her. But they needed to write properly and space-wise and understanding, like the punctuations and sentences and things like that. So with the both of us agreeing, we just decided to continue to do what we know we should do.
Okay. And so you went on and you went ahead and taught the children that anyway.
Right.
And when you say that she didn't like that, how does that manifest itself? Was that in a conversation? Do you feel negativity from her? What does that look like, and how does that manifest?
That manifests and say when we were teaching the writing. No, why are you teaching them to write like that? You should be just glad that they're writing right now. I was like, excuse me, Miss So-and-so. They're going to have a writing prompt or a writing exercise somewhere along the line by the end of the quarter or somewhere along the line. We're not going to be the one that's grading their writing assignment. It's going to be another teacher that's grading their assignments. And if they look at this and they can't read it or understand it or see these things that's floating up and down in there, no punctuations or nothing like that, they're already going to be graded lower than standard.
Yeah.
And I need these children to grow, not to stay low. And it was just frustrating.
Yes, I can see, I'm hearing and I'm seeing that was frustrating for you. Did this happen in the classroom as you were teaching?
Yes.
Okay. And
she would verbally tell us, no, that's not what y'all supposed to be doing.
And so when she does, so I'm assuming that's how she expresses her distaste or her disagreement for what's going on. She comes to you verbally while you're in the instructional setting.
Right. Yes.
So how does that make you feel in reference to her correcting you or having conflict with you in the classroom setting in front of the children?
I would continue because I wanted to be professional and not let it let the children see that it upset me. Because once they see that there was a conflict between us, that children has a tendency to take that and make a bigger situation in the classroom. I don't want to do this. Miss so-and-so said I don't have to do that. And I had to let them know, this is what you are here to do. You're here to learn and achieve, get better. You always reach for your best.
Okay. I applaud you for continuing to go on because you're looking at the bigger picture.
Right.
But how does that make you feel that she will confront you in front of the children?
I was very
in the
upset.
middle? Okay.
I was upset.
Wow.
I guess I'm one of those type of people that I hold my emotions in a little bit, sometimes more than I should. But I'm learning as I grow older to speak more on it and get it out, which makes me feel a little bit better, and I find a resolution to the problem.
Okay, wonderful. Resolution to okay. So, Miss Anita, we've talked about a lot in reference to your job. So you've given me a lot of information so far. I understand that you've started a new job, started a new teaching at a new location. That you were a little bit anxious and excited to start with. From there, you had a permanent or temporary permanent teacher. She's gone, and you've been thrust into a situation where you have lack of stability sometimes, and even combative situations. So, giving all that we've discussed with where you are, the extra duties that you had to take on, and even the conflict with your coworker that you have temporarily, what's a solution that you can think of that would be your ideal solution to solve the issues that you have right now at work?
I feel that I've gotten close with one of the other ladies that is in the exceptional ed department at my school.
Yes.
I worked with her over the summertime. She's very, very friendly toward me, and she has become sort of a little confidant of mine. So I was thinking of going and talking with her and getting ideals and things. Maybe she could sit us down and help us resolve and have my permanent sub understand, you know, what has to be done in the classroom situation and how the curriculum, how we have goals and standards to go for that class.
Right.
And just because what she think from her point of view or what she has taught and what she was doing, she thought that was sufficient. That might not be what need to be used now in this time. So I'm looking forward to that.
Okay, so I'm hearing you say that you want to get a neutral third party.
Right.
From the school, someone who's aware of the curriculum and the things that need to be taken care of, to sit down and talk with you two so that you can express to her how you feel and she can express how she feels back to you, to discuss the situation. I think that would be a really, really good idea. What else do you think that you could do that may ease the tension or the conflict between the both of you?
Also, I've noticed with my other permanent teacher assistant, like myself, she has really, really stepped in and has diffused some of the situations. And with her, I think the other teacher may be beginning to understand that what she's doing is not helping the classroom situation.
Okay. So that I think that it's wonderful to note that you have some support at your school, at your occupational setting, that you do have support and a good rapport with your permanent teacher, the other permanent teachers in your classroom, and that you do have someone that you can speak to in your department. And so I think that those are good ways to think about to try to resolve some of the conflict. And also, you know, when you feel that tension and stress, you know, say you go to work tomorrow and you feel stressed, or you and her get into a conflict before you've had the opportunity to sit down and speak with her, with your neutral party or with your other teacher's assistant. What are some things that you think that you can do for yourself to resolve?
Well, I'm a little silly, and when I get a little stressed out, I sing to myself. Okay. And then another thing I've noticed that does help me during the day, I give my children a shake break. Okay. And what I do when they have a little shake break, we have the active board, and I'll go online and I find like these little dance things, and I get up and I participate with my kids, and that helps diffuse me a lot. Being silly with the kids and bringing myself back to, you know, something I love to do with them, and they see that I enjoy it. So that diffuses me a good little bit. Okay, so we're looking at, you know, taking a moment to recollect yourself and get rid of the stress off of your body and out of your spirit. And we are thinking about talking things out with a third party and with the other teachers aid in the class, to get a meeting of the mind and kind of understand both perspectives. And how do you see things working out if you resolve at least those things? If you can get the tension and to diffuse your anger, and then maybe you two can have like a meeting of the minds. How do you feel about that? Hopefully when we come, I would call it like a little round table where all of us sit down, and hopefully she'll begin to understand what has to be done and won't confront me so much. Maybe she'll understand better what we're trying to do with these children. Like I said, we know that they're low, and we're trying to bring them up as close to grade level standards as possible. Because when they do take their tests, maybe that's what the third party, my other departmental teacher can let her know, that they still have to take tests on their grade level, even though they're not on their grade level. And by trying to get them to as close to it as possible, maybe she'll understand how we are striving to take small steps to get them there. And being combative towards me is not helping the children.
Yes.
We are there to help the children, not make ourselves be right.
Okay. So far in this session, again, we've talked about a lot. We've discussed, your frustration towards your job, how you're having conflict with your coworker, your temporary coworker, how your original temporary teacher left because you gotten a particular type of student in the classroom, and that was a lot for her. You've been in a situation where you lack stability, where your permanent coworker was gone for a little while, and you've outlined that the conflict that you've had with your temporary substitute, saying that she confronts you a lot and she's a little bit combative with you in nature, and we've even talked through some areas where you have some support. We've identified some areas of support, and it's wonderful that you are reaching out and utilizing your resources at work to help, and some things that you can even do yourself. How do you now feel about the situation, given that we've discussed all of these things and we've talked about it and identified some support areas and some potential goals to look forward to doing to decrease some of this stress and frustration?
I feel with the extra help from my department and my other teacher assistant, we will get to where we're supposed to be.
Wonderful.
We will be able to teach these children and get them as close as possible to the grade level as possible. That is my goal, to get them to read and to spell somewhat, and to just have them to be academically as well as they can be. And
that you all work together.
That we all come together and can work hand in hand instead of patting and smacking each other on the hands and things like that. Yes. It's going to work itself out. God's will help, and with the help of all the people I have around me, it will work itself out.
Now, I do appreciate your positive attitude. So some of the things that we talked about was to some of the goals that we set, or things that we would like to get accomplished, is that we want to sit down and have a talk with our coworker that we're having the conflict with, and with the neutral party, so that you both can have an opportunity to openly speak, and hopefully understand a little bit where each other is coming from, and to reduce the tension, so that there won't be too many more outbursts in the classroom in front of the children. And that is something that also that you can invite your permanent teacher's assistant into, since it seems as if she is more aligned with your thoughts. And we've also identified a way for you to get an appropriate way for you to de-stress while you're at work.
Like being silly with my kids.
Yes. So are those things that you think that you can work on and do, pretty
every day? I strive to do just a little bit more and get better each day. Yes.
And you think that you can have this conversation with your coworker pretty soon?
Hopefully this week.
That would be wonderful. So I think that you have enough. We've talked about enough. We've identified enough goals and solutions to work on, and hopefully you would want to come back to me soon and talk.
Yes, I want you to know how well things are, and hopefully give me a little praise for staying professional.
Oh, well, I would love for you to come back and discuss with me what happens in your meeting with your coworker, and if she's positive to that, which we hope she'll be, and even how you're coping with all of that, with your anger and your frustration with your new goals and your position. So is that something that we can say we can do? You'll go ahead and talk to your coworker, and that's something we'll talk about the next time we meet?
Most definitely will. I'm looking forward to that.
Well, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure speaking with you, Miss Anita.
Thank you so much, Miss Byers. Thank you for listening to me. I feel just a little bit better just by talking. Thank you again.
Oh, thank you so much. And you have a blessed day.
You too.